A dog barked wildly at a water basin, where bubbles were rising rapidly to the surface. The woman sensed something was wrong. She had a bad feeling that something major was about to happen. Suddenly, the ground began to crack open. A female police officer stared in horror as the fissure widened before her eyes. Under the shocked gaze of the crowd, she fell into the widening crack. The ground kept collapsing, cars plunged into the earth one after another, and the water from the basin drained away in seconds. The woman quickly threw her car into reverse to escape, while more and more pedestrians began to flee in panic. The three of them had no choice but to abandon the car and run for their lives. Not far away, a tall building crumbled in an instant. At that moment, a boy spotted a young girl who had fallen ahead of him. He rushed to help her up and returned her to her mother, but in doing so, he was struck and knocked over. Just as he got back on his feet, the ground beneath him gave way, and he fell again into the collapsing earth. There was no time for the woman to grieve. She turned and ran, but couldn't escape the destruction. She too fell. At the very last moment, her daughter managed to grab her hand. But with the pit still growing larger, the woman made a split-second decision and let go of her daughter's hand. The girl could only watch in tears as her mother plunged into the abyss. The ground collapsed further, forcing her to turn and run. When she looked back again, a massive crater had already formed in the center of the city. Deep below, the woman was still falling. Just then, as she turned in midair, a blinding blue light caught her eye. What was that? No one had an answer. Rescue teams rushed to the scene and cordoned off the area. Suddenly, a flock of bizarre, giant birds burst out of the pit. One of them swooped down violently and let out a deafening screech toward the crowd. Meanwhile, the woman slowly regained consciousness. She found herself lying in an endless open field, completely alone. She looked around, confused. Where was this place? When she looked up, she noticed a crack in the sky. Did I fall from there? She wondered. Frantic to find her son, she reached for her phone, no signal. As she turned, she suddenly spotted a rock that seemed strangely familiar. There was no time to dwell on it. Finding her son was the only thing that mattered now.